Hi guys, I want to put up a little pick up and play here about the plug and play that I got recently, and was thinking to myself that, you know, a lot of people might see these out in the wild and different types of ones like this one here, and they might say to themselves, you know, this would look really good on my shelf. And not only that, it actually has a function. It can play games and you hook it up to your television, so you might have trouble deciding maybe which one you want because maybe too many of them on the shelf might look gaudy, or maybe you want to create a nice little collection of them. A lot of them share the same game, so you might be thinking to yourself, like, why would I want more than one of the same game? So this video, I hope, helps you decide which one you might be interested in. Let's check out this one on the left here. And I like this one a lot compared to the Pac-Man one, more so actually, because it actually shows you which games are on the inside. There are 5 games in this one: Galaga, Vasconian, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Rally X. And, you know, it also looks kind of like an arcade cabinet machine, minus the monitor. This one here features predominantly Pac-Man and 3 ghosts. Just in the pink one. It has a really nice raised surface for each of the characters on here. The ghosts actually feel more blocky and pixelated. They're more square-ish, and Pac-Man's round, traditional Pac-Man. There's also a maze design behind them. It's yellow, just like the plastic, but it is raised as well, so it has, you know, a texture to it. Finally, on this one, there is a menu button here that resembles the insert coin slot on an arcade machine. It says 25 cents, and it says menu there, but on a normal arcade machine it would say insert coin. So let's take a look at some gameplay and figure out which one of these is actually better. This is the purple version of the plug and plays, and you can see we got 5 games here: Pac-Man, Galaxian, Rally X, Dig Dug, and Vasconian. On the yellow version, the one with Pac-Man predominantly featured, we have 4 Pac-Man games and the same other games we had on the purple one, except for New Rally X. I don't really know what the difference between the two is, Rally X and New Rally X, but yeah, I mean, they pretty much look and play the same to me.
Okay, so here we have the actual arcade Pac-Man playing, and take note of the startup sound as well as the sound effects Pac-Man makes as he moves around the board and chomps the power pellets. Also notice the layout of the maze and how much of the maze you can see on screen at any given moment.
Okay, here is Pac-Man on the purple one. You can already hear the difference from the arcade footage I just showed you. And I'm going to play horribly because I really can't walk and talk at the same time. In this case, walking is playing games. But anyways, you know, I find that the sounds in this version are more grating. Let's switch over to the yellow version. Ah, listen to that. That's arcade perfection in the sound right there. Now, there are usually 2 ways developers will port games to different platforms. You know, if you have a game in the arcade and you're bringing it to the home console, one, they'll get a bunch of art and sound and basically all the different assets that were originally used in the game, and then they'll just recreate it from scratch. And I have a feeling that was the route that developers chose to go with the purple version. The other version, or the other way that developers will go about doing this is they can create an emulator, which is a fancy program that will translate the software to run on a different platform without modifying the original software. Finally, there's just the developers recreating the software from scratch. if it didn't have the assets or the code.
Okay, so now let's take a look at Dig Dug. And again, I want you to note the startup sound as well as all the other sound effects the game makes, as well as the amount of levels seen at any given moment.
Switch over to the yellow version, and this is not the arcade but the yellow version, and look at that, it has the intro. And when you press the button, it's like you're inserting a coin. Makes the coin up sound. And listen to that sound. Accurate. Just like the arcade. Now, you might say to yourself, well, this is great. It has, the yellow version has more games. It has more accurate either emulations or recreations of the originals. Where's the downside? Well, I have to tell you, it's in the control. Now, the joysticks on these and the buttons resemble an arcade machine very closely. They have hat switches and spring-loaded buttons that feel very close to an arcade machine. And, you know, give you a really good feel. However, the yellow version has, well, basically you can only move the joystick in 4 distinct directions: up, down, left, right. There are pieces of plastic which prevent you from moving the joystick in, you know, an up-left direction, an up-right direction, or down-left or down-right. And I have a feeling that on the one that has Pac-Man on it, those pieces of plastic are longer, so you can't really smoothly go from down to right or to up from any other direction, which makes it really difficult to turn. Whereas the purple version, I can play the games a lot more easily. Dig Dug. And we're going to raise the volume because this one's really low. Now, if you can recall, there was like an intro and the field, gameplay field scrolled. So you can already notice some of the differences between the arcade footage I just showed you and the purple version. It feels easier to play, and it's not like the game difficulties that noticeably different. It's just that I can, when I press to the right, I go to the right. When I press up, I go up. So, oh crud. So it's a much more tight control. I know what direction I'm gonna move when I press the joystick. But I believe this can be resolved, you know, pretty readily by just opening up the stick and maybe sanding down those corners of the piece of plastic. So overall, I think I prefer the yellow version. The reason why I like it is because they're more accurate depictions of the games, and finally, that it has my favorite version of Pac-Man on it, which is Super Pac-Man. So in this version of Pac-Man, what am I even talking about? It's not a game review. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the plug and plays
Maybe you can make a better decision now which version you want. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it.